First, I would say, don't trust the books. There are about 50 books writing about us. I'm shy in reading them because I know a lot of them are not true. I remember once I was in China on the airplane. I found a magazine. I was reading something about a great young people doing something. I say, wow, that's a great guy. And then it was talking about me. I think I'm a very normal person. I failed many exams, and I tried to apply jobs for more than 30 jobs, and never got accepted. And I get used to be rejected by people, and I get used to fail. A lot of people say, Jack, you have achieved such a big success on Alibaba, Ali Enter Financing, Ali Cloud Computing, but they never see. For the 5 successful companies we made more than 5,000 mistakes. We had a lot of stupid mistakes and all the setbacks. People did not read it. We started from my apartment, from 18 people to now more than 43,000 people. And people asking, what is advice you give to the young entrepreneurs? And my advice that, number one, always use your brain to think. When people say yes, when everybody say yes, just stop 1 minute, think about why it is yes. Is it a possible no? When everybody don't like it, spend 1 minute, think about maybe something right about it. So always using your mind independently thinking. Do not follow the general thinking. After 2 or 3 minutes, you think, yes, most people are right, and then follow. And the second is be optimistic. There's always opportunities. When I was young, I don't like Bill Gates because I think Bill Gates took all of jobs, right? The all wonderful opportunities, Microsoft, IBM, and Cisco, they took all the jobs. But I think maybe Bill Gates, maybe Jack Ma, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, these are not our models. We should learn from those people in the neighborhood. They open a small restaurant with great business. These are the people we should learn from. Start little by little. You can do better things. When you're small, you should have a big heart. When you're big, you should do small deeds. This is always my advice. Be optimistic. Whether you like it or don't like it, 10 years later, this world is going to have more rich people than today. 10 years later, this world is going to have a more successful company than today. If you do not ready for the future, if you do not ready to take the sufferings for today, you will never have a bright future. And next is partner with the others. Nothing can be achieved by yourself. You have to find good partners. And good partners takes time to build up the trust. So the rest is time. Never give up. There are about 10,000 times I may give up. But I ever say, just for 1 more 3 days, another 3 days, I may survive. So magic always stay for the next 3 days. If you give up, this world, the easiest thing is to give up. But it's so difficult to come back. So if you decide to be an entrepreneur, ask yourself, the first day love. The first day love is always the beautiful love. But a lot of people, when they go, they forget the first day love. So there are a lot of problems. But be optimistic. Partner with the others. And don't give up. And I said to myself in the past 70 years, as I said again and again in China to a lot of friends, today is difficult. And tomorrow is much more difficult. But the day after tomorrow is beautiful. And most people die tomorrow evening. So if you want to see the sunshine of the day of tomorrow, you have to work very hard. Don't give up and partner with the others. This is the advice I give.
Small companies, including in Thailand, one of the key challenges is financing. To get somebody to listen and to back them up. I mean, what would you say to that? I think it's the same all around.
Yeah, first, financing is a problem to any companies, whether you're small or you're big. Big companies say, I need more money. Right? So financing is always a problem. When you want to borrow money, banks do not give you money. Which is true, which is right. I mean, they make money of the banks, right? Why they should? So if you ask for money, there is no money. That is very natural. If you ask for help, nobody help you. That's very natural. If everybody help you, this is not natural. This is not normal. So when you start to do it, you say, this is something that I want to do it. I remember when I started my business, my parents did not like it. Say, you're a teacher, you're a lecturer in the university. Why you give up doing something that never existed before in the history? My wife doubted about it. All of my friends, I invited 24 of my friends, discuss in my home, say something I want, that was in year 1995, something I want to do in the future. And after I talked for about 2 hours, 23 of them say, no, forget about it. Only one person said, well, if you really want to do it, maybe try it for a couple of years, and then go back to school. But I decided to do it. A lot of things you want to do, people may not like it. But you have to believe it. And when you believe it, when you start to do it, the things that people don't like it, don't understand it, surely you will not get a lot of support. But the first money you support is I started Alibaba by 18 founders. We gathered $50,000 US. That was 1999. I said, everybody put your pocket money on the table. Nobody is allowed to borrow money from your parents because I don't want to spend your parents' pension. Nobody is allowed to borrow money from friends because we are all young people. We should take responsibility for what we committed. For $50,000, we will last for about 10 months. 10 months later, if we used up the money, nobody invested in us, we did not have income, let's go for a job out together. Otherwise, continue to do. Everybody should keep 10 months food money, and everybody should not live 5 minutes walking distance away from my apartment. So we started this job. $50,000 US, 1999, from 18 people. We started. We went to the banks. Nobody gave us the money. We went to venture capitalists. I went to venture capital in the USA, rejected by 25 or 26 venture capital. People don't like Alibaba ideas. They say, e-commerce? No, forget about e-commerce. Internet? No, China has no internet, no e-commerce. So, what are you going to do? Spend money carefully and convince those people who trust in you and responsible for that trust. So this is what I say. It is difficult for a startup to raise money. And raise money from your friends, raise money from your parents, get the money from yourself. And then when you go to a certain part, you will get the money from the banks. But on the other hand, government should do something. Society should do something. This is what we believe in this century. We should not it's impossible to make all the small, medium-sized companies to get $50,000 in such a terrible situation. So the government, banks should work out a system to have the inclusive financing, making sure those people who need money can be funded. Today, my largest shareholder is from Japan. From the US, Yahoo. And people say, well, you know, Chinese companies, a lot of shareholders from Japan, from the USA. But when we raise money, nobody in China give us the money. No banks give the money. We do not complain. So I think as an entrepreneur, when you start the business, raising money is always a big issue. So you have to think about it clearly. If I don't have money, what should I do? I heard a lot of young people say, if I have money, I'm going to achieve this. I don't like this kind of young people. I love to talking to those entrepreneurs who say, I don't have money, but I still can make this thing happening. These are the entrepreneurship. And if you have this kind of determination, this kind of a creation, you will have find people to support you. I tell you one story. Year 2001, I think, I was invited to speak in the USA, talking about my vision, our future. And I talk a lot about the value, mission, and vision. There is an American, you know, he was a senior officer level guy from big American company. He listened that he said, Jack, this is a crazy guy. It's impossible to talk about the value, mission, vision in a startup. You should talk about how to make money instead of create values. He said, this is crazy. So after my talk, he came to me and said, Jack, I don't think you are right. I said, please, David, please come to my company. So 3 months later, he came to my company. He spent 1 week. After 1 week, he said to me, he said, Jack, I know you are crazy. Now I found 100 crazy guys in your company. Because everybody thought, do like you. When you have a group of crazy people doing things they believed, make tiny things, this thing will happen. So the advice, the lecture I give to the Harvard year 2003, I say, we succeed, there are 3 reasons as a startup. We don't have money. I don't know technology. And I've never planned. People say, how can this happen? We don't have money. Today, many companies having trouble, not because they don't have money, because they have too much money. When you don't have money, everything you do, you're very careful. You think, if I don't do it right, I'll bankrupt tomorrow. When you have a lot of money, you start to do stupid things. When you don't have money, you don't have a chance to do stupid things. We don't know technology. I don't know technology. I'm not a technology background guy. But because I don't know technology, I know a lot of SMEs, small business, scared of technology. How can we make a technology very simple? A dumb click can get what you want. So I was the product tester. If everything my engineers made, I will use it. If I cannot use it, forget it. 80% of people cannot use it. If I can use it, then go ahead. We never plan. How can you plan in 1999 for the future of the internet? Keep changing to making sure you know what your customer want. And making sure make your customer happy. Making sure make your team happy. When you make your customer happy, when you make your team happy, the shareholders will be happy. So this is how we survived.
Jack,